Hey everybody, this is Neil from the Overclocker magazine, so let's get right into it. So a month or better a month and a half ago, I reviewed the ADATA XPG SPECTRIX D50 4133 C19 kit. I thought that kit was pretty amazing. In fact, it was one of the best kits that I've actually used or even owned. And I was not expecting much to get better from that because I'd looked on the XPG website and it seemed like that was the highest bin they actually had, 4133, for at least for the SPECTRIX D50. So I got an opportunity a few weeks later, probably 2 weeks ago, to just try the 3600 bin. In fact, I have to say this before we go even further. This memory, the best DDR4 memory kit I've ever owned, and I've gone through a lot of them since X99 days. So a few weeks ago, or maybe earlier this week or last week, G.Skill announced that they had DDR4 4000 at C15 at 1.5 volts. That's really tight for that sort of frequency. And I think the timings were 15, 16, 16. That sort of timings, that sort of a memory to me says that that's some quality B-die ICs they have on there, and they've actually binned them so that they're able to do that. Because I tell you, a lot of the other B-die kits that I have are not capable of doing that, despite the fact that they're able to do the extreme overclocking settings. So 4600 C14, maybe even 4800 C14 or 4133 or 4266 at C12, that sort of thing. But they simply were not able to do 4000 C15. So I had not really expected this memory to be able to do that. But guess what? This memory gets even better. So the SPECTRIX memory, this very same 3600 bin, can actually do 15, 15, 15, 36 at the same 1.5 volts. I mean, come on, that's just incredible. Okay, that's really incredible, especially when you consider the pricing. Normally, in fact, let's use that G.Skill kit. That kit is about $200, and I think if you buy the normal ripped jaws version or without the RGB LEDs or something like that, but I do know that 2 SKUs that exist of that very same bin. Now, this SPECTRIX D50 3600 kit, that's less than $100. Literally, it's less than $2,000. It's about $100, because you should be able to get one of these sticks for about $800, perhaps let's say $900. Okay, so if it's $900, it's just over $100, but still, there isn't better performing memory at this price anywhere. And I looked on Amazon, I looked on Newegg, I looked at Woodware, I looked at Titan Ice, and no other vendor is able to provide memory that's 15, 15, 15, 35 or even 34 at 1.5 volts. And this SPECTRIX D50 kit was, sticks were able to do that. So I had the opportunity to try at least 6 different sticks, and obviously I picked the best 2, and I'm using those 2 right now. But I will tell you that all of the 6 sticks were able to do DDR4 4600 C19, and I mean all of them. That's 19, 19, 19. All of them were able to do that. I just don't even know what to say to that. That's insane. For the amount of money that these sticks are going for, that is literally just insane. And I don't know how ADATA is not marketing this, or maybe I don't know. It's just, these are really good sticks. Okay, I'm a fan now of what the XPG line of DDR4 memory can provide. So it's all good and well being able to do 4600, 4700 and so forth, but here's the thing. Doing such high frequencies usually means you're gonna need a very high system agent voltage, and you're gonna need a very high VCC IO voltage, and obviously those things contribute to a warmer CPU, as you know. And it may not even be possible. A lot of motherboards, at least 4DIMM boards, are not able to do frequencies above, what, let's say 4500, or at least reliably. So for me to verify that this memory can actually do 4600, I did this on the Aorus Z490 Master, which is, I think the Aorus Z490 range is by far the best overclocking 4DIMM range of this generation. Literally, I don't think there are motherboards that have such high memory frequency validation. You mean you can check it in the QVL, okay? These are 4DIMM boards, including the Z490 Aorus Master, that's capable of doing DDR4 5000. Literally, that is in the QVL. So I tested the SPECTRIX D50 memory on that motherboard, the Z490 Aorus Master, and lo and behold, 4600 is doable. And then I switched to a favorite of mine that I think I really underappreciated at the time, the Z390 Dark from EVGA. So either way, going with high frequencies and so forth is impressive in just the number or the numerical value, but not necessarily in performance. And how I measure performance, obviously we use ADATA64, but I also use Geekbench 3, the memory bandwidth test. So I set myself a pretty high bar. If I'm gonna overclock this memory, it needs to be at least 8000. So that's the memory subscore, 8000. And 8000 is not necessarily something that's easy to come by, because I'll make you an example. DDR4 4600 at C17-17-17 will give you something like 7200 or maybe even 7500. The reason being because your secondary timings and your tertiary timings are not tuned. Basically, to be able to reach such high frequencies, you need to sacrifice a lot in the secondary and tertiary timings. And those timings are very, very important. In fact, just with secondary timings and tertiary timings, you can more than make up for what you're losing in your primary timings. Okay, so I decided, hey, I want to get over 8000, and then I went about tuning. Okay, so I started at 4000, and like I said, DDR4 4000 15 15 15 at 1.5 volts system is super stable. That is phenomenal. Okay, the performance top notch. And then I went to 4300, which is a frequency that's often ignored for some reason. I suppose it's just too close to 4266 to be worthwhile. But anyway, at 4300, I was able to do 16 16 16 at the same 1.5 volts. Obviously tightening the sub timings, secondary and tertiary timings as well. And the score in Geekbench 3 memory benchmark, or at least that sub score, went up to I think about 8200 or maybe 8300. And then obviously the last frequency that I used was DDR4 4500, and that was at 17-17-17. Now I know for the extreme overclockers, these are not really great results. If you're going to do any sort of XOC benching, you're going to be wanting to look at, what do you call this, maybe a score of over 9000, 10,000 preferably. But that takes a lot of doing. You need maximum, you need to cool your IMC, there's a lot, 2 volts plus. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into that. But these settings that I'm showing you are settings that you can use every day. In fact, these settings are exactly the settings that I'm using for the new video rig that I'm building. Okay, these are exactly the same settings that I'm using, and I'm going to be using this memory in there because this memory is absolutely phenomenal. So you may be thinking, okay, it's all good and well getting nice numbers in Geekbench 3. How does that affect my gaming? Well, you'll see it for yourself. I just ran 3 games and you can actually see the performance scaling there. And just to think that you can buy this kit for under 2000, or at least buy 2 sticks for under 2000 Rand, I don't think is worth buying any other set of memory right now. If you're just looking at pricing, and I mean, look at them, right? They still have the same RGB LEDs with the diffuser at the top. The heat sinks look pretty nice. It's a nice simplistic design, but one that actually works across so many systems. I am over the moon about this memory, and I'm still shocked at just how good it is. And at this price, under 2 grand, guys, you can literally get memory that can do 4500 C17, and that's for 24/7 use. So you can use it on your AMD system, you can use it on your Intel system without having to do too much tuning. Okay, I think for DDR4 4500, the VCC IO you need is probably like 1.35 or 1.3, and the system H and voltage can be as low as 1.4. Okay, if not 1.35. So it's really not a lot. So that sort of thing to me says that you can use this across a variety of systems and a variety of motherboards as well, because most boards should be able to do 4300. If they can do 4266, they can do 4300. And this memory literally sings at 4300. In fact, it's my favorite setting, and it is the setting that I'll be using for the video rig. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this memory. If you haven't bought it already, definitely consider buying this memory. It is so good. It is beyond good. It's unreasonably good. If anybody can present a DRAM kit of similar pricing that can outperform this one, I will eat a shoe. No, not really, I won't eat a shoe, but I stand by my word. This memory is just, it's too good. Absolutely phenomenal stuff, guys. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you actually have this memory right now? If you don't have it, are you planning on getting it? It really is great memory. Anyway, let me know what you think about the memory and the performance and so forth. Remember to share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.